Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I think the message in the chat says welcome to the Chemical Research Customer Advisory Board session, but this is the feature highlight and refresher session, so you are in the right place. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a lot of features that we'd like to cover today. This is a very casual session, so feel free to add any questions as we go in the chat. If there are specific features you want us to highlight, we're happy to do so. Let me just adjust my slides. So just before we get started, some practicalities for the webinar today. Or the session today. Your microphone is muted by default, but we do have an open Q&A panel, so please feel free to send questions into that panel as we go or directly in the chat, and we can either answer those questions as we go if we see them or at the end of the session. We are recording this session, so we can share this after the call today in case you want to refer back to a certain feature or a way that Beatrice is demoing something. We'll send that recording out when we are done. We also will have some polls as we go and a follow-up survey after this session, really to learn more about whether or not this was helpful for you, what other content you'd like to see. If you have specific feedback on the features that we covered today or other features that you're hoping to see. So please feel free to share your feedback. Again, this session is really for you and for us to better support you and help you. So just a quick intro. My name is Betsy Murray. I'm the Director of Product and Programs for the INHISA Sustainable Chemistry Division. So we focus on the chemical research suite as well as the chemical assessment suite. Today, we're focusing on the chemical research side. You might have noticed us start to refer to what was known as the ToxPlanet application more regularly as chemical research. You'll even see that in the logo when you log into the application. Nothing has changed about the application other than some of the features we're talking about, but the main goal, all of the research that you value, the collated nature, that library that you're interested in and you're looking at, none of that value has changed. It's just a little name polishing. And I am thrilled to be here with Beatrice, our product owner. She is the one who works directly with our developers to make sure that all of these features get done, developed, and implemented for you to actually use and work with in the tool. So Beatrice will be doing most of our session today and our demos. And I'm really excited that you guys get a chance to meet her and learn from her as well. So just for some context, we have had a lot of updates, as I mentioned. We are going to cover almost all of these today, as well as anything else you'd like for us to cover or do a refresher on. We'll talk about some offering updates. We have really worked on making the tool a more collaborative tool for you and your teams. So we have some account-based features and functionality that we'll be talking about. We also have introduced a single sign-on option. We know a lot of users have single sign-on within their organizations, and we want to make accessing this application as easy as possible for you. And when we're talking about those account-based features, we are going to be focusing on the 5 up on your screen. So projects, creating projects, sharing projects, downloading projects, notes and messaging within your organization, and also for your own personal use. Different alerts that we've added to keep you apprised of changes to those documents that you're interested in researching. And we also have 2 updates. We have introduced a collection map that Beatrice will demo for you, as well as our My Expert filters. This is not a new feature, but we've made some improvements to it over the year and are excited to kind of refresh on those updates. So just jumping into some details quickly about the offering updates. We now have an offering by default, you will be able to allow up to as many users as you need within your organization to have access to your chemical research subscription and access this new account-based functionality. If you don't have access to this account-based functionality yet, or the unlimited users, go ahead and contact your account manager or our support email that's right up on the screen here. And we'll work with you to get your account upgraded so you can access all of these fun new features we're talking about. And again, just included in that account-based functionality is project sharing, alert sharing, notes and messaging, and then the My Expert sharing. You'll still be able to conduct your individual research as part of this account, as part of your account, as you would before, but you'll now have the sharing capabilities, so you'll be able to better collaborate within your team. And then, as I mentioned, we also have single sign-on. And if that's something you're interested in, please feel free to reach out to your account manager at Anhisa. More than likely, that has been Bradshaw, so you're welcome to reach out to him or our support queue. You can also reach out to me or Beatrice as well. We'll have our emails at the end of the screen or at the end of the presentation. So we can answer any additional questions you have about the functionality we're covering today or about upgrading your account so you can access everything. So with that, I am actually going to pass the baton over to Beatrice so she can start demoing and going over some of these fun, exciting new features we have. So Beatrice, I'm going to stop and allow
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Betsy. And hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I hope you are able to see my screen now.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Okay, so as Betsy said, we'll do a quick overview of a lot of new features or updated features that we have been working on through the whole year. Hopefully you've seen and used some of these, but if they're new to you and you have any questions, just feel free to use the Q&A panel here and just drop in your questions, and we'll be happy to support with any doubts that you have. And with that, I am jumping right into Project Manager. And our new projects feature, it's not that new, although it has a lot of improvements. The goal with this menu here is to help you organize your work better. You know, we have a lot of sources, a lot of documents, and here with Project Manager, you can organize them into smaller folders. As you're working on a project, as you're searching for a specific substance, you can just keep adding documents that are relevant to you into a project to make things easier to access. So you can just come here and click on Add New Project, and you can type in a name. I'm just going to use webinar as an example. You can add a description if it's helpful. This is optional. And the project is now created. Then you can start adding documents to your projects as you go along and search. There are several ways to do this. One of them is if you have searched before and now you want to just organize documents, you can go into your document history. As you do, you will find in the right side of the screen this column here with all these buttons. And the middle one means you can add this document to a project. So if you just click on one of them, you will see the list of the projects you've created show up in the screen, and you can choose one, or if you want a new one, you can also add it here. And you just hit OK, and the document is automatically added to the project. The document history is particularly helpful when you're looking into external sources, when it's not a PDF that you open directly in ToxPlanet, because you can do this directly in the source. But if you do come here, you can also add externals to your project and you'll have everything organized. There is another way to add documents into a project. If you open the document, you will find on the right side your document settings. One of the buttons here is Project Manager Options. If you click on that, the same screen will show up and you'll be able to choose the project that you want to add this document to, and you can just do that. Going back into the Project Manager, if you click on the plus sign here, right next to the project name, you will now be able to see all the documents that we just added into the project. So now that we have all of this, we can work on top of it. You can always, of course, delete if you want, but there are a few new features here that we'd like to show you around. So our newest one is Download Project. Here, you will be able to download all the documents that you have in the project together instead of going one by one. So this makes things a lot more efficient for you. You will see here that you have a project export going on, and as soon as it is done, it will automatically download the documents into your computer. Next in line is Project Archive. You probably will not be working on all projects at the same time. So what you can do is whenever a project is done, you can archive instead of delete. This will help you reference back to the project later in time if you need that, while it is not taking too much space of your active projects page. Going into the first account-based functionality that Betsy mentioned before, you can now share a project. If you have other colleagues on your organization that also have access to ToxPlanet and that you work with, you will now be able to share a project if you want to collaborate with them. You can share with a specific member of your organization if you click on this plus sign here, or you can share with everyone in the account if that's relevant by choosing this world icon in here. You will have to choose their permissions. If you don't select anything, all the other users will only be able to see the project. They will see which documents are inside it, but they won't be able to edit. So it's not really collaborative. If you choose Edit Permissions, your colleagues will also be able to add documents into the project or remove them. If you give them admin permissions, in case it's shared with just one colleague, they will be able to share with other users as well, so you can increase engagement with the project. After you've done that, you just hit save and everyone has access now. That takes me to another feature here. This is a history change of the project. So here you'll be able to track all the changes that were made so you can reference back. You will see when the project was created, when documents were added or removed, and also when anyone got access to it and the permissions that they have. It's just informative. And that takes me to asking if anyone has used the project, if you have seen these features. I think there's a poll, Betsy, maybe you could trigger if possible. I would love to hear if this has been helpful or if it could be helpful. Give a few seconds.
Yeah, have you explored the project features yet? Not yet. I have. I'm a pro. So we'll just give you a couple seconds to put that feedback in. It looks like most of you, all of you so far, have not yet explored the projects feature. So hopefully this is a helpful review and overview of what is available and what we have. So it looks like we have one person who has explored the project feature, which is great. Good job. Let me go ahead and give this just 2 more seconds, see if there's any more feedback, and then I'll end and I'll share the results just so you can see it. And then we have one more poll about the projects. All right, let's share that one. So yeah, you can see almost everybody has not yet explored the tool, Beatrice. So I think that your demo was very helpful and timely, and just a couple people who have explored it. So let me close that and I will open up another poll. Just to understand kind of what you think. How helpful do you think these features or this project feature will be for you and your team on a scale of 1 to 5? So 1, I'll pass. 2, maybe useful on a rainy day. 3, sounds decent, it could come in handy. 4, pretty solid, I use this often. Or 5, game changer, where has this been all my life? And it looks like most of you are leaning in that middle area of like, this could come in handy, which is great. We love to hear that as the product team. And just as you guys are filling in this poll, it might be helpful to understand kind of how Beatrice and I work through our product roadmap. So when we decide on which features to add, it's really based on client feedback, on user feedback, either feedback you've shared directly with your account manager or with our customer support. We also have customer advisory board sessions. We've sent out surveys to you. So please know that when you spend that time, we are not taking advantage of that time that you spend, or we are taking advantage of that time you spend, sorry. And we are really looking in detail at all of the feedback that you share. We'll send follow-up questions. Beatrice and I have also had one-on-one sessions with many of you to learn more about how you're using the tool and what would be most helpful for you. So we're really taking that feedback to heart and prioritizing features that we've heard would be most helpful to you. So let me go ahead. It looks like most of you have said sounds decent, could come in handy, which makes total sense given that most of you have not had a chance to use this feature yet. So we're excited for you guys to test it out after this session and let us know, did it actually come in handy? Does your kind of usefulness ranking change at all? All right, I think that's it for polls for this one, Beatrice, and I think we're ready to move to the next highlight.
Okay, while we are still in projects, let's then jump into our notes and mentioning tool. We have added still for a project a note box here. You can leave notes in your project to leave any thoughts that you have had about it, and you can do that in a private way so that you will be the only one seeing that, or you can do it in a public way. So again, as a collaborative tool, you can leave notes to your colleagues working on the same project to let them know your thoughts on the project, to let them know that they should consider this for their work or something else. You can tag them or mention your users here if you search by email address, and I'm just going to use another user that I have. If I just quickly do a comment and post it, this demo user here will be notified and they will know that they need to come here, that I tag them as a reference to this project. This notes and messaging functionality is also available in a document. So you can do that either from the project manager, or if you go directly into the document, I'm just going to use the one I had open here before. Right below project manager option, you have document notes. If you just click on that, you can again leave a note. Works pretty much the same. You have private notes if you just want to do a quick summary of the document that's helpful for you, do a reference to a specific paragraph or section that has information that you want to keep, or you can do again a public note and post for others to see. So this is also account-based feature, so it might not be available for most of you. But again, we would like to hear if you have used this. So Betsy, can you launch the second poll, please? Have you seen this? Yep. Have you used it?
Awesome. And you guys, thanks so much for filling in the polls. One, hopefully it helps you kind of like stay engaged in the content, but also really helps us understand adoption, whether or not you guys have actually tried a feature out. We do send emails out to our user list when we release these new features. So hopefully you've seen those come through. They might go into spam filters. But I write them personally. So it's not a machine. It is me, and Beatrice does a fantastic job of putting in screenshots and updating our user guide. but this is another great way to get these features in front of you. So it looks like, Beatrice, most people, I think nobody has tried the notes and message feature yet. So again, let me go ahead and share those results and open up the second poll. And again, this is going to be the same question as before, so kind of a pattern. And how helpful do you think that the notes and mentioning will be for you and your team on a scale to 1 to 5?
It is being used a lot. It's a brand new feature, and again, it's only available for within the account-based functionalities. So if you find that this is interesting for you, please reach out to Betsy or me or to your account manager, and we would be happy to set it up for you.
Thank you. Awesome. So it looks like people are filling this in, and we have a fairly similar curve going, where we've got a couple of people who have said maybe useful on a rainy day. Most people are saying that this could come in handy, and again, not surprising given that you haven't had a chance to test it out yet. So again, let us know, as Beatrice said, how we can get you, or if you're interested in getting access to this, we'll work on your subscription upgrades so we can get these in front of you and you can explore them. So let me end that one. And I think we're ready for the next feature.
Let's jump into the next feature, and we are going into Alert Manager. We have created Alert Manager a while ago, but we have been adding a lot of new alerts to the application. The goal here is to help you stay up to date with all the updates that we do on a daily basis. But also, if you have all of these collaborative tools, you can also be notified and make sure that you don't miss any update. So these are the 5 alerts that we currently have. We have alerts for documents, projects, mentions, collections, and substances. Document alerts will help you stay up to date with with updated documents. So whenever there's a document for you that's relevant, you can set up an alert for it, and if it is updated, then you'll get a notification about it. Projects and mentions are related with those account-based functionalities we just went over, and you will be notified whenever someone in your workspace shares a project or updates a shared project with you, or whenever you are mentioned. You will be able to see the mention, to see if it was in a project, if it was in a document, and you'll be able to manage. You can just delete them if you don't want to see, or you can go directly into the notification. Then our latest are the collections and substances alerts. For the collections, you will be able to set up alerts for them for the sources that you most look into. So whenever these sources are updated, when we add a new document to that collection or we update one, you will be notified about it. And here you will be able to see in which module that update was, since some collections are present in several modules. And for the substances, it's pretty much the same. If you're looking into a specific substance, often you can set up an alert for it, and you will be able to know whenever it is updated. Here you will see, you can go directly into the document that was updated. You will also see the update type, so if it's a new document or if it's an existing document that now has a new version. What's relevant here? How to set up these alerts. So the document alerts have 2 ways to be set. One is within the document. And again, if you go into your document settings, you have this watch document, or in this case, stop watching document, because I was already watching it. This will trigger that alert whenever the document is updated. One thing is that whenever you add a document into a project, this will be automatically turned on. Of course, you can always turn it off if it's not useful. Another way to set up an alert to a document is in your document history. If you go there, right on the right-hand side, like you have projects, you have all these buttons here that you can add or remove the document from your watch list. And now you'll be notified about updates to this document. I hope that's clear. Again, if you need to clarify anything, just feel free to type any question here in the panel. For the collections, there are also two ways to set up alerts for this. One of them is if you search in your search results, you will be able to do so. So let me just go into this quick search here. I'm already on ChemExpert, and there are these little icons here on the left side of the collection name. If you click on them, you will see it turns full. It's filled now. This means that I'm watching this collection. So now, every time our content team adds a document into this collection, I will be notified about it. This is really helpful to make sure that you are keeping up with the updates on the most relevant sources for you. The other way to set up this alert is in our collection map. I'll get into more details on this one, but just giving you a very quick overview. You have this right-hand side column here with the same icon that you had next to the collection name. You see those filled ones mean that I'm watching this collection. So you can set it up in here as well. You can watch or unwatch your collections in here. And all of this will fit your alert manager in the collections tab. Finally, we have the substances alerts. And again, you have two ways to set up these alerts. I'm just going to use the same one here. If you do a search, you will get this first results table. You can watch the substance from here. Again, you can start watching or stop watching it. There's another way to do so. I'm just going to open one. In your chemical identity page, you now have a watch substance button here on the right side that you can also use to set up these alerts. This is a lot of information, but then we have our watch list. This has all the documents, collections, and substances that you're watching. This helps you keep track on what you're seeing, and you can always manage what you see here. So if you no longer want to see a document or be updated about the document, you can just delete this alert and you will be notified anymore on that. All of these alerts can again be viewed on this alert manager, but they are also mentioned here on the top of the screen where you have this little bell. You will be able to just quickly go into these notifications whenever you join your application. You can see here, for example, I'm monitoring formaldehyde, and I now know that it was updated. And this is all for our alert manager. A lot of new things again, but we would love to know if you have been able to use it, if you have any favorite collections or favorite substances.
Awesome. Thank you, Beatrice. So yeah, these alerts are something that we got asked about quite a bit over the past year, where users want to be updated when the documents that they are tracking are updated, when collections they are tracking or interested in are updated. So we really worked on updating these and notifications when they are. We do have some thoughts of how we can improve this already in 2026. And I'm actually getting some good questions in the panel. If you are in your application now, if you're in your account right now and you don't see these options, just let us know. And again, we can connect you with your account manager to get your account updated so you can see them. We know that this is an important part of keeping your research up to date, is making sure that you don't have to go searching for these alerts or these updates, that they're put right in front of you. So again, Beatrice, we've got a couple people who have explored the alerts feature, so we're very curious to hear how that's working for you, what you like, what you wish we would improve with the alerts feature. And most people have not yet explored them, the alerts yet. So we're excited to get them in front of you. All right, and we'll do the same thing. So just how helpful on a scale of 1 to 5 are these alerts that Beatrice covered in terms of the different types of alerts, the notifications, the ways to add them. So we've got people filling that in. Now this one is skewed so far a little bit more toward the top. So pretty solid. I'd use this often, which is consistent with what we are hearing in terms of the requests. So again, Beatrice and I have spent a lot of time meeting with individual users in the group sessions, reading through the surveys, following up with your account managers to understand what features would be most helpful. And this is pretty consistent that alerts was a top priority for many of you. So we're excited to hear that many of you anticipate to using this often. So let me just give that 2 more seconds as we have feedback coming in. And oh, things are shifting. I was about to hit end and we got a couple more last minute responses. So I'll share those results. So again, pretty handy. They'd use this often, or sounds decent could come in handy. So thanks again for this feedback. It's really helpful as we know kind of, again, where to prioritize our training, additional improvements. And yeah, Beatrice, I'll hand it back over to you. And as you guys have these questions, sorry, before I hand it over, thanks so much for submitting the questions in the panel. I'm trying to answer as many of them as I can. But again, if you have any other features or questions or more detail that you'd like us to go into, put that in the Q&A or the chat as well. And if we have time, we can dig back in during this session too.
Okay, I am moving on into our next new section. We have the collection map. Showed you a sneak peek to set up your collection alerts, but there's a lot more in this menu here. The goal is pretty much to keep you updated on the sources that we have. It's an informative menu mostly, but you will be able to monitor all the collections and all the sources that are available in ToxPlanet. You will be able to understand in which module they are, when they were last updated. You see on the left-hand side this small watch icon here. That means that this collection was updated since the last time that I interacted with it and logged in. So there's a new document that I could potentially be interested in. If there's a collection or a source that you normally use, but you haven't found in your searches, you can just come in here and you can search for it. I'm just going to use it as an example, and you'll be able to know if it's available on ToxPlanet or not. And we are happy to analyze any sources that you normally use that you haven't found in chemical research yet. So yeah, please feel free to use this. Another thing that's interesting is that we have some more details on the collection. You'll be able to see in which module it is again, and then a small description if you don't know exactly what some of these are. And again, you'll be able to see the last update and watch or unwatch the collection. If it's a collection like this one, for example, that has a parent or a child collection, that will also be here with more detail, so you can understand a little bit more about the content that we are showing in ToxPlanet. There's just another thing that I would love to show you here. It's not really related with this collection map, but I think it could be helpful. We have whenever you do a search, now we also have this small, let me see, I had it here. Yeah, this small watch icon here as well. This is helpful again to stay up to date with the content that we have. Whenever you see this, it means that it's a newly updated or newly added document, and you can see when it was added in case you're interested in it. And that completes my presentation on the collections map. So we again love to know if you have seen this, if you explored the map.
Sorry, it took me a little while to find the poll. Up on your screen, you'll have the collection map, and it looks like, again, many of you have not explored this. If you do want to explore any of these features, I'm actually getting quite a few questions in the panel where you're indicating interest in specific features. So I'm taking note of these and I'll pass them through to our account manager so they can reach out personally to get you upgraded to the features that you are interested in. I'm always excited to see in some of these polls, and I'll share the results here when we have some people who have explored the features. So if that is you, we would love to hear how it's working for you. And let me go ahead and launch the second one just to understand kind of on that scale of 1 to 5 with the collection map, understanding and kind of keeping an eye on which collections we have access to, where you can find them, being able to select your collection watch at this level. So looking at the data just in a different way, that library of information in a different way, instead of seeing it by module necessarily or by specific document, being able to parse that library by collection. Feel like my statistics brain from high school is kicking into high gear here and seeing all these like standard distributions for these curves. So a lot of that sounds decent could come in handy right in the middle. We've got some pretty solids. I use this often and may be useful. So most of the answers are concentrated around that middle area, which is great. So again, we're excited to get these features in front of you so you can explore them. Let us know how they work. The goal for all of these is to improve the efficiency in your research process. So if this helps you find the documents you're looking for, that is the goal. So let me go ahead and end that poll, Beatrice, before handing it back to you. Okay. Fantastic.
Right. Going into the last topic of the session, we've covered a lot so far, but this is no less relevant, our MyExpert filters. So this has been around for a while now, but we did a lot of improvements this year, and we have added our account-based functionality into these filters as well. So the goal of MyExpert is to, again, help you do a more efficient search. In some cases, it might be that you know exactly the sources that you want to look into and you know the collections. So, and sometimes can be a little bit overwhelming, all the content that we have in chemical research whenever you do a search. The goal here is to make sure that you can filter down your results in a way that makes your job easier. So again, if I just type in here a webinar, I'm just creating a new filter. I can make it a default or not, and you can always change that between the filters that you have. And after creating it, I now have to choose the collections or the sources that I want to see first, that I want to see in my filter. You can see all the modules that you can apply this filter to, and you just select the collections that you want. So for Botany Expert, these 3. For Chem Expert, I'm going to add just a few as well here. And you can do that for all the modules, and you can save. As I was saying before, this is now in your account-based subscription as well. So you can share your MyExpert filter and make sure that everyone that you work with have access to the same filters and are focusing on the same sources. Again, you can choose a specific user, or you can share with the whole account, and you can give view, edit, or admin permissions. I'm just going to save quickly and close. So what will happen now is that your colleagues with access to chemical research will have the same MyExpert filter whenever they come into their MyExpert manager. And how exactly can we use them, and how is this helpful? If you go into, let me just change this a little bit. If you go and do a search, what will happen is that now your results will be filtered based on the collections that you just pre-selected. You can see on the right-hand side, right above our filters, you have this Show MyExpert. This will help you filter down again your results. You see here, these are the collections that I added into the filter. And that way I can just focus on what's more important instead of looking through everything. If you have several filters, you can use this drop-down bar here, and you can choose another one. You will see this small icon here with the 3 people. This means that it's a shared filter, so you know whenever it's also other users have access to it. And this is pretty much it about my expert. So we'd love to know if you've used this, if it is helpful, if you're liking the improvements that we've been doing. So Betsy, I think you can send the last poll.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the features.
I'm anticipating that there will have more people who have explored the My Expert feature because we've had it for a long time, and it looks like as you guys are answering the poll, that is indeed true. So that's great. And then on the next, I'm a pro My Expert feature. So that's fantastic. Beatrice, while people are answering, we've got a couple of questions in terms of the My Expert collection. Somebody had said that some of the links are green versus black for different collections. Can you explain why that might be?
In the My Expert, you mean? Why are colors in green and black? Okay, I can explain that, sure. So whenever you're in the, are you seeing my screen or are you seeing the poll?
Nope, I'll close the poll. Yeah, I'll just close that really quick.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay, this actually has an explanation. You see here that our results are collapsed. What green and black means is if there is a child collection. So you'll see that all the greens will have another collection inside of it whenever I expand the results. What that means is that when you choose, you can choose to watch the parent collection and you'll be notified. You'll filter, sorry, all of the sub-collections as well, or you can just filter a sub-collection. So using this expand and collapse could be helpful in that way, but that's exactly what it means. So if it's green, it has sub-collections. If it's black, it hasn't.
Awesome, thank you. All right, and I think there's one more poll, just hopping back. I know we're jumping around a little bit, but want to make sure you're getting the questions answered that you need. Jumping back to the My Expert features that Beatrice demoed. So the collapsible, if there's child collections, being able to watch, being able to share your My Expert settings. How helpful do you think these features will be for you and your team on a scale of 1 to 5? Can also include kind of the general My Expert filters. While you guys are answering these, somebody had asked about alerts based on specific types of documents. And I think this is where that My feature, the My Expert feature can also come in handy. So kind of using both tools together. So setting up your My Expert filters for the collections that matter most to you, maybe those like guidances or guidance documents or risk assessment documents. You can set up your My Expert filters to look specifically at those types of documents or those collections that you're most interested in. And then you can set the alerts at that collection level. Typically the collections are organized by type. So we don't have that tag in place yet, the specific kind of collection types yet. I think a combination of the alerts and the My Expert filters should help. Beatrice, I don't know if you have anything to add on that.
No, I think that's it. The goal here is if you can like merge and work with all these features together, they will certainly be really helpful.
Awesome. And I just put the poll results up in terms of the My Expert features and the usability or the helpfulness of these tools. And this is something, the My Expert filters, you guys, I cannot express enough how many calls I'm on where people have said, you know, it would be really helpful if I didn't have to search through the entire 1,200 documents that show up on a specific search. And I inevitably say, hey, have you checked out our My Expert filter? and they've said no. So if you have not checked out the My Expert filter yet, you can set up multiple filters. So it doesn't just have to be one. You can switch your view to look between those different My Expert filters. I highly encourage you to check this out. I think it would help significantly when you're wanting to really target those searches, since we have so many different collections across so many different types of documents and so many different sources, really helping you narrow in that search. So it's really a personalized or a more personalized search experience for you. So let me go ahead and close that poll. And I'm sorry, I didn't even show the results. This one was heavily skewed to a 4, which is fantastic. So very excited that you guys see some use in these features that we're demoing today. All right, Beatrice, anything else for us?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't see any questions here that could be answered with another demo.
Okay.
So yeah, just stop sharing my screen.
Awesome.
But everyone just let us know if you have more questions.
Perfect. I'm just going to share the slide. So up on the slide, or up on your screen, you should see kind of a what's next slide. We would love to, we've got a busy roadmap planned for 2026 in terms of additional improvements and kind of just really making the tool work for you. So what features would you like to see us work on in 2026? What features or improvements would make your job even more efficient? We'd love for you to let us know. And if you prefer one-on-one sessions to kind of share that feedback, Beatrice and I are happy to hop on those. I'm sure your account manager would be also. We can do one-on-one sessions. You can send your suggestions over email. I don't see, I actually got a decent number of suggestions in the Q&A panel, so I'm going to download that and make sure we keep those on record for our planning. I put my email address up on here. I didn't put Beatrice's up just so I didn't have to bombard her with all of the emails, but I share everything with her. So you can always use that email. It is my personal email. You're welcome to reach out. If you saw any features, we will be reaching out over the next few months to get your accounts upgraded so you can have and access all of this account-based functionality. But if you want us to move faster, feel free to email us and we'll get those bumped up. I did make note of those of you who asked about specific features so we can get those turned on for you as soon as we can. And is there, while we have you all, or while we're on this session, is there anything, does anyone want us to go into more detail on a specific feature or have a specific question? Actually, I did see one come up now that I'm thinking about it. Beatrice, there was a question about sorting documents by date and whether or not when you're looking at a collection, are the documents sorted by date? If not, is there a way to do that to display the date of the document? So what I responded in the Q&A panel, and I don't know if you want to add anything to this, there is a filter. So when you're in your search results, you can actually filter on a number of things. This is actually something that's on our roadmap for 2026, is to improve that filter. Right now, you can filter your documents in the based on search by date added. So based on the date that we added that document to our database. We are working on adding a publication date field, so you can filter on that as well. And we know that question has come up a decent amount, so that is on our roadmap already. We are looking at adding that publication date and some filtering options.
Yes, one thing that can help is taking a look at the collection map. Since it has the last update date, that can be helpful for you to then filter out your search results or confirm that collection was updated recently or not. It doesn't tell you exactly the date of that the document was updated yet, but at least by knowing the date that the collection was updated, that could be helpful.
It's a great reminder. I'm still getting to know a lot of these new features too, so my default answers don't always include them yet. So Beatrice, thank you. That's a great reminder about another way to use the collection map. All right, so with that, we can end a few minutes early, I think. Thank you so much for your time, for your attention, your interest, and your continued support and feedback. The Q&A panel was really enlightening. Thank you so much for all of those suggestions. I will get access to all of those so I can follow up personally with each one or have someone reach out. And again, please do not hesitate to use my email address if you have any suggestions, specific questions, if you need more guidance on a certain feature, if you have feedback on a certain feature, if you wish the tool did something that it doesn't, just let us know. We are very open to that one-to-one feedback. You guys are the reason we have the tool out here. It is for you. So we take that feedback really to heart. And it is we build improvements for you, so keep us informed of what you need. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, and we look forward to continuing the conversation. We'll probably plan on doing another one of these maybe partway through 2026 as we have more updates. And again, keep an eye out for those emails. When we have updates, we keep our user guide up to date as well, so you can always look there. Or you can always reach out to one of us personally or to the support email to get additional help or guidance. All right, all. Beatrice, thank you so much. Thanks, everyone, for your time and attention, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, guys.